Hello. Now that is the all-new Kia EV2, and when it arrives in the UK in a few months' time, I think it's going to be a complete sensation. Now stick with me and I'll tell you why, but for now, I'm Jordan and you're watching Auto Express. So what is so sensational about the new Kia EV2? Well, first of all, we have to kind of frame it because this is a B-segment EV, but it's not really a supermini and it's not really a crossover. It's kind of halfway between. And that means that it's got a really diverse set of rivals, from everything like a Peugeot E2008 to an E208 and a Renault 4 and a Renault 5. So it's a tough gig, but this car has a really interesting set of numbers that lift it over and above those key competitors. But before we get there, let's have a quick look at the design, because this thing is super cute, isn't it? It's really contemporary, it has that Kia style, but it's much more compact, and actually it's designed in Europe, for Europe, which is kind of cool as well. So let's have a look at some of the design features. So we've got this sort of SUV body, obviously, with cladding, and we've got sort of a high roof with roof rails and stuff like that as well. But a lot of the details are super funky. So we've got these flush door handles, we've got these sort of really cool sort of shoulders and integrated tail lights here. And overall, I think the whole car looks really contemporary in that way that Kia seems to be doing so well right now. Crucially, this boxy shape is actually really important as well, because it means that Kia has unlocked the most amount of space inside the cabin as possible. So speaking of which, let's have a look inside. Now in here, this is very much so a Kia of the contemporary generation, and that is a very good thing. The infotainment system is awesome. It's actually Kia's larger 3-screen system, which means that you've got a 12.3-inch screen in front of you, you've got a 12.3-inch touchscreen there for your sat-nav and that sort of thing, and also a little screen in between for your climate controls. However, there are physical controls here for things like the temperature and the fan speed, which is excellent. There's some really interesting materials that Kia is using across all of its interiors. So we've got fabric on the dashboard, we've got these really quite funky seats, and also a really substantial center console, which is very handy when it comes to storing all sorts of things. Speaking of which, storage, we have got a cup holder here and a really useful tray down there, a phone charger here in the center. We have a little cubby here, which is also very useful, as well as some physical controls for the parking cameras and that sort of thing. And then the door cards are also super funky, because we've got this sort of like 2 setup here. Now with the gap, and that might sound a bit strange, but that gap will allow a really big bottle to be sat in the door pocket. Overall though, there is definitely a sense of quality and of substance as well, which is something that isn't guaranteed in this sort of B segment. Of course, in terms of space, there is loads of it. We can see, obviously, there's lots and lots of headroom. And also, because that dashboard is pushed quite far back toward the windscreen, it feels really spacious in here as well, and it will be for much taller people than me. Now, that same sense of space is also the same as in the back seat, so let's go back there. The back seat of a B segment car isn't always a particularly nice experience, but I have to say, Kia has done a really good job. Now this seat is in a position that's slightly too big for my driving position, and I'm not the tallest guy in the world, but I still have plenty of legroom, but crucially, I've also got lots of headroom as well. The other thing that's nice in here is that we have a couple of USB-C charge points, and we also have a domestic plug down here as well, which is super useful. However, the really clever bit is that Kia actually give you 2 different options for the rear bench. Now this one here is the standard 3-seat option, but there's also a 2-seat option, which might sound a bit annoying, but it means that each of those individual seats are individually slidable, and it means that you can actually move them back and forth to give you either more space in here or more space in the boot. Just quickly, whilst I have you, did you know that you can actually buy and sell your car at autoexpress.co.uk? Now, if that's something that you want to do, make sure you click the link in the description below and we'll run you through the process. The cars with this 3-seat rear bench have 321 litres of space, and as you can see, there's a flat floor, which makes loading really easy, but there is plenty of space underneath, which is quite useful. However, that aforementioned 4-seat model has up to 403 litres of boot space, which is excellent for this class. There's also 15 litres of space under the bonnet for things like your charge cables as well, if you want to keep them separate from the main luggage area. Now, of course, this is where we come to the all-important specs, because there are actually 2 different versions of the EV2 available. Now the first is a 42 kilowatt hour standard range model that has around 200 miles of range. Now that's yet to be absolutely confirmed, but it's about that. Now it comes with a single electric motor mounted on the front axle that has about 144 horsepower. However, the model that I think is really going to resonate with the UK is the long range version, which has a 61 kilowatt hour battery that gets up to 277 miles on a charge, and that is considerably better than a lot of its key rivals. Now, when it comes to charging, Kia doesn't give a max DC charge rate, but it's saying that it can get from about 10 to 80% of charge on both battery versions in about 30 minutes. Now, all of these specs are all well and good, but there's one that's missing, and that is the price. Now, in this segment, that is absolutely key. And while Kia isn't actually committing to anything yet, we do know that it probably should start at around £25,000 and will probably touch closer to 30 or 31 for those top spec models. The one thing that is certain though is that the B segment EV space is moving rapidly. Later on this year, we're going to be having new cars from Volkswagen, Cupra, and from Skoda that are all trying to revolutionize this space. Now, of course, is the EV2 still going to be relevant when those cars arrive? Well, we're going to have to drive it to see what it's like as an overall package, but so far, it has probably won me over with its really cute styling and its great interior and its surprising practicality.